Welcome everyone to the Noble Inbound 100. All lines will be placed on mute to prevent any background noise. Thank you. We have Corey Mustard and Henry Dancer. You can begin your webinar.
All right, thank you so much, Darshay. Hi everyone, my name is Henry Dancer, and I'd like to introduce myself, and then I'll introduce my counterpart here in a minute. I'm the Western Region VP of Sales for Noble Systems. I've been with Noble about 4 years, and been in the contact center space. I'm almost embarrassed to say how long it's been. It's been 20 plus years, and so I've seen a lot in the contact center as it has evolved from pure ACD to call center to contact center to unified communication, blended, TCPA, all the things that are important to us today. So I have a nice background with that. And today on the session, my co-host is Corey Mustard. Corey, you want to introduce yourself before we keep moving on?
Sure. My name is Corey Mustard. I'm a solutions engineer here at Noble Systems. I have 20 plus years in the contact center space. Prior to coming to Noble Systems, I was actually a customer of Noble Systems, running a fully inbound and outbound blended shop in Arizona, where I was vice president of technology, and I ended up using the Noble Systems product on a daily basis and ended up working for the company. So I'm here with you today to talk about some of our new features.
Thank you, Corey. And just so you guys know, Corey is really much more technical than I am. So as we go through this, I'm going to start the presentation and go through the first, 7 or 8 slides, kind of talk about a little bit of an overview of the Inbound 100, and then Corey will get into more of the details and the functionality as we go through the rest of those slides. And at the end, hopefully, we'll have some time, some Q&A. There were some slides that were, some questions that were submitted with registration, and if time permits, we'll go through some of those. And this will all be about 35 to 45 minutes, just so you guys have a sense of that. And then if anybody wants to re-listen to this, we will be putting this on the Noble website probably within about 24 hours or so. A little bit of editing, of course, cleaning up some of the issues, and then we'll get it on the website, and you should be able to either listen to it again or share it with some of your colleagues. So that said, Corey, you want to go on to the next slide? Thank you very much. So as most of you know, assuming you being on the webinar, you have familiarity with Noble Systems. Noble, we've been in the business for 26 years. Traditionally, we have been known to be in the outbound space, and obviously over the years we've really gone into the blended space. We've been really very fortunate through a lot of hard work. We've grown every year. Our market share has increased every year for the last 8 years, and for the last 3 years we have had the #1 market share position in the outbound/blended contact center space. So, something that we really are proud of. That said, we also realize that a very important part of the contact center market is the inbound marketplace. And it's not like we haven't been doing inbound. We've been doing inbound for many years. Matter of fact, we did some studies internally, and we looked at the traffic patterns in our cloud for last year and noticed that 43% of all our cloud traffic was inbound traffic. So we've been doing inbound quite a lot, and really what the introduction of Noble 100 is really to put a greater focus on that, improving some of the UIs and the reporting, and we're going to be showing that to you and some additional new features. So the objective here of our session, obviously we can only get so deep in a 35-45 minute pitch, is to really talk about what's the reasons for the customer frustration out in the marketplace, and they're not getting what they need and how they need it to be done. So we'll talk about that. We'll do a high-level overview of the Noble 100, and then we'll kind of dig down a little bit into the exclusive features, some of the patent pending features that we've got into the Noble 100, some additional Noble 100 in action, as we're calling it, kind of digging deeper into it, and then really getting into the total contact center solution, really rounding out the contact center, things you could use to help the whole customer experience and improving that. And of course, like I said, at the end we'll have some Q&A. All right, Corey, next slide, please. So this is, once again, setting up a little bit of what we see out there in the marketplace, both what we see from our customers as well as what we see in the industry. And this is a pretty disheartening fact. If you read the slide, 1 out of 26 unhappy customers complain. So you think about that for a second. You put that into context. That means about 96% of people who are unhappy with their situation and their experience with your contact center don't actually say anything about it. And those people just simply quit being customers, and you have no idea why. We always talk about when somebody complains or they have an issue, you try to satisfy that, first call resolution, customer satisfaction issues, things like that. Those are all incredibly important. But the issue is there's so many people that you don't even get a chance to fix their problems. So you have to be proactive in a way, and using your technology in a way to keep them, your customers, and keep them happy. So this is one of the mindsets that we've got working for us. Next slide, Corey. And then this is, equally, it's the reverse of that, right? If successful customer engagement can prevent 85% of your customers' loss due to frustration. So frustration can come in a lot of different ways. We all realize that. But, a lot of frustration, if you have an issue with your product or service and you're trying to reach the organization, and if you can get to these people, get to your contact center, whether it's through phone or email or text or chat or web, you can save a lot of your customers this way. Ironically, kind of parenthetically, I read an article not too long ago, and I thought it would be really appropriate. When I saw the slide, I thought, this kind of ties nicely into an article that I read, and it talks about customer satisfaction and product satisfaction, and it was for particular goods and services, and there was a study, and the study said that if you've got a product that does not have any issues, it is flawless from day one. It never has an issue. There's never a reason for a support call. There's never any problems with it. The overall satisfaction of that product or service is about 86%, which is not bad. It's a B+, right? Kind of do it that way. However, if you've got a product and a service or product or service that does have an issue, and then you need to contact the manufacturer or the distributor, and that person is able to resolve your problem or service on a first call resolution in an effective, professional way, the satisfaction level of that product or service is actually in the mid-90s. So think about that for a minute. You've got a product that never breaks, and you got a mid-80s satisfaction level. You get a product or service that breaks, but you handle it effectively, and you've got a 90+% satisfaction level. So it just shows you how important handling customer issues and customer requirements is. And of course, the reciprocal of that is if you don't handle it professionally, I think the satisfaction level dropped into the 50s, fairly quickly. So it is truly a point of inflection where it's really where the rubber meets the road. If you have to if you fix the issue quickly and successfully, you've got a customer for life, and if not, you may have some issues. All right, Corey, next slide. So this is kind of what we're dealing with, right? This is what the universe has fed us, and this is how we have to deal with our customers. So how do we help improve that? How do we make sure that when a customer does contact us, that how are we going to make sure that we maximize that relationship and we really make that relationship to our advantage? Of course, the first thing is maximum uptime. That is the best way to keep customers happy. So you're out there, you're available when they need to get a hold of you, and in the media that they want to get a hold of you. So we'll talk about that. So the reciprocal of that is, when they do want to get a hold of you, you've got to minimize a few things, right? You've got to minimize the hold time, got to minimize the speed answer, and we have to minimize or hopefully eliminate any sort of drop calls. So the idea there is you got to be out there, you got to handle it, you got to handle it effectively, and that's what we're going to hopefully show here. And how we accomplish that is, Corey, thank you, is the Noble 100. Like I said earlier, you've all known Noble as an outbound or blended contact center. This is using our 26 years of experience and really taking it into a 100% inbound contact center. Corey, why don't you go on to the next slide?
Thank you,
I
Henry.
think this is actually where you're going to.
Yeah, so I'd like to talk to you about our Noble Inbound 100 product. As Henry mentioned, it's 100% pure inbound. It's a solution that is designed to purely manage inbound communications, and it really is optimized for our customers that are doing customer service and help desk, direct response, whether that's sales or even fundraising, order processes, and inbound-centric enterprises. So if you have an inbound contact center, this is a fantastic product for you. And it really is a 100% complete solution. Today's customer has an expectation of a knowledgeable, professional, hassle-free interaction with the companies that they do business with. And all of your customers are very different and have different preferences on how they choose to communicate with you and how they choose to exchange their information. And today's contact center, you know, it needs to really have all the tools in place to be able to handle all of those different interaction types and to ensure that positive customer interaction and experience. And so Noble 100, Inbound 100 is, it really is a 100% complete solution. It contains all the features that an inbound contact center requires. So if customers prefer to call you, if they prefer to send emails or spin up web chats or shoot off text messages, Inbound 100 can handle all of those interactions with intelligent skills-based routing, and it also provides seamless transitions through all of those different channels and contact types to the agent desktop. One thing that's important to remember is that in most cases, your agent is the only voice and the only interaction that your customers are going to have with your brand. And it's incredibly frustrating for your agents and for your customers when agents have to jump through several applications and data sources to effectively service that customer. Noble Inbound 100 comes with a very powerful application that allows you to create customized agent scripting and workflows. It provides integration to your CRM, and it allows the agent to access important customer data all within a single unified agent desktop. You know, and many times, you know, your customers may have needs or questions that can be efficiently and effectively handled without the use of valuable agent resources. So, you know, if your customers need to check their balance or make a payment, or maybe they're just gathering information, Noble Inbound 100 delivers a fully customizable IVR scripting tool. It also has text-to-speech engines that will allow your customers to be able to easily navigate like self-service menus and quickly find, you know, the resolutions that they need without actually having to speak to an agent. Now, as Henry was mentioning, you know, we've been around for a long time. For 26 years now, we've been committed to providing relevant technology that supports and improves contact centers. And our technology really provides all that you need to ensure things like PCI compliance and other regulatory compliance, and all of the management and reporting tools that you need to ensure that you're meeting your service levels and, again, providing that highest quality touch to your customers. So we offer 100% call recording with all the QA tools and reporting tools that you need with that. Real-time and post-call speech analytics, real-time and historical reporting on all of your contact center metrics and service levels. We have a pretty robust workforce management suite. Oops, I skipped ahead there. Sorry. And again, all of the tools that you need to make actionable insights into your contact center to make sure that you're hitting those service levels and to make sure that you're providing that fantastic customer experience. One thing that's unique, and Henry, you can speak to this if you'd like to a little bit, but as Henry mentioned, uptime is huge. And we are serious about providing reliability and performance that's critical for your customer care. And we are so confident in our ability to provide you with uptime that we're offering you a 100% service level agreement for all cloud deployments.
Yeah, so I think I would like to add a few points to this. I mean, this is, we have to think, is critical in your contact center. You have to have a 100% uptime. And I'll give maybe a few proof points that it's more than just us saying it. We actually can back this up. As you guys know, we've been in the cloud business for about 4 or 5 years, and we spend a lot of time. We have a very robust cloud system, cloud environment, and we measure every part of that environment. And over the last couple of years, so 2 years ago, our uptime in our cloud was 5 nines, considered the gold standard of what you need out there in a customer contact environment. You've got to be available. 5 nines of reliability is key. Guess what? Last year in 2015, we continued to make sure that our cloud system was scalable, was reliable, was robust. We just finished our metrics for last year, and we were actually 6 nines of reliability. So think about that. If the gold standard is 5 nines, and we were actually running our cloud at 6 nines, and that's both an inbound and an outbound. And as we all know, that it's very complicated, very large applications. And with that, we feel completely confident that we can guarantee you a 100% uptime SLA on our Noble 100. So I think this is unparalleled in the industry, and we're very proud of this. And we are betting big time that this is a true differentiator for us, as well as the feature functionality that Corey was just going through.
Thank you, Henry.
Okay.
You know, there's some exclusive features that Noble One and Inbound 100 offers that are patent pending, and these are really exciting things to talk about. So we're going to take a couple seconds and talk about some of those exclusive features that we offer in this product. The first is called Smart Accept, and Smart Accept delays an inbound call when an agent that's skilled to take that call isn't available. And so the way this works, when a call comes into your contact center, Smart Accept can check to see if you have the available skilled agent before accepting that phone call. Now, this is completely invisible to the customer, but it provides you with some pretty key benefits. First of all, the customer is not going to have the frustration of sitting there in a hold queue. Secondly, as the call is not in your system yet, it's going to greatly improve your average speed of answer and also save unnecessary telco expenses.
Let me kind of walk through that for just a second and how that would work. So you've got an operation going on, and you've got customers that are calling in queue, but all your agents are busy. So what we're doing here, quite simply, is we're just allowing you to set what you believe is the tolerance level of your customer of a ring cycle. So obviously each ring cycle is roughly 6 seconds. So let's just use an example. Let's say you decided, I think 3 rings is a pretty good number. That's 24. 3 or 4 rings. So you get 18 to 24 seconds, somewhere around that. So what will happen is that if your customers are calling in, and we'll just let that, and there's nobody available in the particular skill base that you need them to be routed to, we'll let the call ring for whatever you just choose is appropriate, 1, 2, 3, 4 ring cycles. And as Corey said, the idea there is that in the customer's mind, it's just part of the telco network. It's going through the network, and it's not really looking at it as being on hold yet. So the advantage you get is that the customer still is in that, it hasn't been connected. And then this is what we're doing technically, is we're just not providing answer detection back to the network. Now at the same time, if you do not have to complete that 24-second ring cycle, whatever you've chosen to put this on, if all of a sudden one of your agents becomes available somewhere during that cycle, let's say 10 or 12 seconds into it, an agent becomes available, obviously we'll then at that point immediately accept that call and route it right into that agent. So we're not forcing that person to go on hold or continue to hear the ring cycle. So it is truly it's a smart accept and very dynamic in how it works. Okay, Corey.
Well, the other thing that we're offering that's exclusive is Smart Recover. While we guarantee that 100% uptime in our cloud, sometimes there's situations outside of our cloud that may be problematic for your contact center. There might be a fiber cut. There might be some things that are going on in your local area, power outage or something along those lines, that may cause you to drop an audio path. Now the great news is in the cloud, we still have that audio path. And so rather than dropping those phone calls and losing all of that data and losing that valuable customer who may not call back, we give you some tools to automatically manage those lost audio paths. So you could, if your agent was not able to be there, you could have a special IVR that would reroute that call and explain to what's happening to that customer and allow them to do some self-service, or maybe route that to a different contact center that's not experiencing the same problem, or route it to at-home agents. Or maybe you want to send them to a voicemail system so they can leave you a message and then you can get back with them. Or you can include things like our IVR assistant that will actually schedule a callback automatically for that customer. So in today's world, when you have a situation like that that might happen, especially if you're in a big enterprise, you may drop 500 calls and never be able to talk to those customers again, at least several of them who won't call back. So this will allow you to, first of all, not drop all of those calls, and secondly, to have the ability to reach back out to those customers who are calling back in.
And I think this is huge because, throughout my career in the contact center, that's one of the biggest frustrations. When there's something that goes on, whether it's weather related or power related, and a contact center is just offline for a while, I sense from the people who run the business that it's a huge frustration. I'm sure you guys all have experienced that. And it's almost a frustration where you don't have an option. Like, all right, well, it's just something I have to deal with. And I think what we've done here, we've come up with a solution that you don't have to just deal with a down system or a weather-related issue or a power problem. You have options, and we think this is a huge game changer as well. All right.
Agreed. So now we just want to take a couple minutes and kind of show you what some of this stuff looks like. So Noble Inbound in action. So you can see here, this is Composer. As I talked about our unified agent desktop application, Composer is the thing that we use that allows you to connect with different CRMs, even legacy data systems, to be able to provide your agents with all the information that they need to be able to successfully handle a customer interaction. Now, one of the great things that you see on this particular screen, especially for those of you who have seen our Composer product before, you'll notice that there's a bunch of different tabs on the left. What that's about, one of the things that we're introducing is multi-session. So that allows, based on the skill level of your agent, we can allow up to 6 different interactions at one time. So one phone call, and maybe they're handling a couple of emails and a couple of chat sessions. They can handle all of those things simultaneously. Now again, that's going to be depending on the skill of your agent. So if you have a new agent, maybe you just want them taking those incoming calls. But if you have an agent that's been around for a very long time, maybe you want them to be able to handle one call and 5 different chat sessions. Or maybe you just want to dedicate someone to the chats, and maybe they're handling 6 different chat sessions at a time. And so Composer now can do multi-session and will allow your agents, again, to have all of the contact history, account notes, customer information from your CRM or from other data sources that you may be able to link to provide the agent with all the tools they need in one desktop to be able to provide that great customer experience. Here's a couple different screenshots of that. There's our chat.
By the way, these screenshots are just, Corey's kind of putting some things together, and he thought it might look good based on his experience. This is all customer definable, what you want it to look like. These are just representative examples of something that Corey came up with in the preparation of the session. It's by no means hard-coded.
Yeah, and that's a great thing to mention, Henry, is that our Composer application really does allow for you to be able to customize the application to drive your business needs. And so we give you the tools to add the buttons that you want to add, the scripting that you need to add, the workflows that you need to add. It doesn't have to be just one page. You can have logical tree branching script flows so that your agents know exactly which buttons to hit to be able to navigate to the correct information to service the customer. This is our Harmony product. So when we talked about Noble Systems being committed to the contact center space, and really a big drive of ours is to make sure that you have all the insights to be able to manage your contact center, to be able to see what's going on from an agent perspective and see what's going on historically as well as real time. So Harmony is our product that is completely web-based, that your supervisors and administrators can be able to view on any web platform, whether that's an iPad walking around so they can have a good sense and a pulse of what's going on in the contact center, or from a computer. And this web-based product has all the tools that you need to do to be able to handle setting up new inbound call routes, new skills-based routing for your agents, agent setup, as well as things like live monitoring your agents and seeing what's going on in all of your different inbound queues so that you can have the access and visibility to be able to manage your contact center and make sure that you're hitting all of your different service levels. And you can see here how easy it is. It's wizard-based almost to be able to set up your ACD routes and all of your messaging. And with that, as I mentioned, is all of the online tools for real-time statistical information about what's going on in all of your inbound queues, as well as all of the historical reporting, QA tools, and live monitoring of your agents. So it really does provide you with all of those things that you need to be able to manage your contact center.
Yeah, the one thing I would say on Harmony also critical is that it's all web-based, as Corey had mentioned, and it's compatible with any sort of mobile device, whether it's an iPad or whether or different sorts of pads, whether it's an iPhone. So not only are your supervisors and your management, they're not tied to the office, they're not tied behind their desk. As in the contact center now, it's much more common to be wandering through the contact center, kind of helping people out, making things are going well, and therefore you still have visibility to what's going on by being able to carry along your your iPad or something, as well as if you're remote and you want to check what's going on or make changes, all that can be done as long as you have web access. You can access your contact center and all whether it's the administration, real-time reporting is all accessible. Both inside and outside the contact center.
And that is a key advantage because, again, it's all about visibility and having the information that you need to be able to drive all of your metrics and all of your service levels and really provide the highest quality that you can to your customers and to your agents.
Right.
So next we just want to talk about, Noble Systems, as we mentioned, this product, Noble Inbound 100, is perfectly suited for completely inbound shops. It gives you all the tools that you need to be able to run a inbound contact center. But, Noble Systems is also a total contact center solution. In fact, we have several clients that are completely blended with a full blend of inbound and outbound phone calls. And with that, we have a lot of tools that we have, whether it's for unified communications, workforce management, real-time post-call speech analytics, or data analytics. We have the solution for all of our customers, for all of their contact management. And if you'd like more information about some of those things, obviously, we would love to talk to you about it. We have fantastic real-time and post-call speech analytics. When you talk about trends that are going on in your contact center, to be able to look on an enterprise level and be able to figure out what your customers are responding to, why they're responding to them, what offers are appealing to them, what are your agents saying, and to be able to look at those things on an enterprise level to gain actionable insights into your contact center, it's a huge advantage. Using WFM to make sure that you're effectively staffing and rostering your agents to be able to handle all of the different contact types that are coming into your contact center, as well as be able to anticipate what's needed from a back office perspective. Our WFM solution really is a powerful tool that blends all of that together to make sure that you're hitting your service levels.
I think one thing that I would add to this, which I think is really important, is everything that we're talking about here is available in both premise or cloud, or we could even provide this or implement this in a hybrid situation. So for some reason, maybe you would like the core contact center on site, but WFM or speech analytics or something like that, you're comfortable with being in the cloud, that's fine. So that's what we call it, a true hybrid solution. So everything we provide here is the exact same product, exact same functionality. It's whether we put it on your site or whether it's in one of our cloud centers. So there is no, that's just a deployment option. It really has nothing to do with functionality. It's really, once again, what fits into your environment, what meets your security requirements. So kind of conclude, before I get to the Q&A, just wanted to close up a few things. Like I said, everything we can sell is premise or cloud. We have, I think, some of the key takeaways that I think are critical. We have some new functionality that are patent pending that Corey talked about. We have 100% uptime guaranteed. We are truly a 100% inbound customer contact center, and we are 100% ready today with all the functionality you need, whether it's voice, whether it's multi-channel, WFM, recording, analytics of both voice and data. It's truly a robust solution, a robust platform that you can start today and truly grow with you as your enterprise grows, and we want to be your partner moving forward. So we want to thank you for your time and attention. We do have a few minutes, so let me go through some of the questions that got submitted. One of the question is, if the customer does not want Smart Accept, it's interesting, we were just so proud of explaining how well that works. Someone asked, if we don't want Smart Accept, is that an option? And the answer is absolutely. That is a price we can take Smart Accept out of the configuration.
And Henry, we also allow you to configure the Smart Accept functionality on a DNS by DNS basis. So if you have different lines of business coming in that you want Smart Accept on, we can flip those features on. And if you have lines of business coming in, phone numbers coming in that you don't want Smart Accept on, you can have the ability to turn that off, and that's all within our Harmony product.
Thank you. Perfect. Another question talks about blending. Obviously we spent the last 35 minutes talking about inbound only, but there's a couple of questions about blended calls and blending inbound and outbound with TCPA compliance. Absolutely. As I said in the very beginning, we've been in the blended contact center space for 26 years. Obviously, this session is really to introduce and highlight our inbound 100. At the same time, very easily, this can, our product, it can also handle outbound, and it's those of you who are current Noble customers, you understand the robustness of our blended solution and the TCPA solution, and obviously our team, our account managers, as well as our sales engineers would love to come and talk to you about both. Let's see what else. WFO stack, and I think Corey talked about that. We absolutely are. This is compatible with our full WFO stack, whether it's WFM, whether it's recording, whether it's speech analytics. All that is compatible with our inbound 100. And I think really looking at the questions, really the last one that I see before I go to that, Corey, anything else you want to add before I kind of get into the last question to kind of do a wrap up here?
No, just also the ability to even integrate with other WFM systems is probably key as well.
Okay, perfect. The last question I see is, what are some of the best practices for the inbound call routing? And that is a great question, and is by far and away, much more time consuming than we have here. But so let me explain how we would handle the best practices. We have we do a business assessment, sometimes referred to internally as a BA, and we have an account team that will come out to your operation, spend time in your call center, watching what's going on, everything from listening to calls to talking to supervisors, looking at both your technical environment as well as your business environment, and really seeing what's working, what areas you need, your concerns are, maybe what some of your growth plans and your future needs are. And we will come, we'll basically data gather here for the first visit, and then we'll come back and we'll as a consultant, and we'll come back and say, here's what we found. Here's the areas of concern that you had. Here's the areas we think we can improve, and we'll actually provide you with a written solution of ways to improve your operation, your contact center. Obviously, we could then tailor our demonstration and of our products to really highlight the areas that we see as some areas of challenges that you have that you need to improve on. So we truly take a holistic, very enterprise view of this, and we'll spend the time in your organization to really make everybody from the technical people to the business side, as well as executives, both in finance as well as the operational side of the organization, comfortable with what we're doing and really walk through it step by step. We are truly a no surprises sort of organization. So that said, I think we're about done. Timing is about right. I'd like to thank you all for spending the 35 minutes with us and going through the session. As like I said on the outset, this has been recorded, and we will be posting it on the Noble website in a day or two. So if you'd like to look at that. There was one other thing I should say. I just reminded myself. Also on the Noble website, Jim Noble, our president and CEO, posted a 4-minute video on Noble Inbound 100 that I just think is excellent. There's a link on there, and it takes you to the YouTube video. There it is. It's noblesystems.com, Inbound 100. I think it's an excellent video. It gives you a great 4-minute view of what this is about. You can pass that link on to some of your other people in your organization, and I think it's well worth your time. So please take a look at that as well. So based on that, I think I am done. Corey, thank you so much for your help. Darshay, thank you for setting this up. And most importantly, thank you to everybody out there. We appreciate you the time and attention, and we look forward to spending time with you.